Where's Stu Hall, mean Freyon, and welcome to yet another video. This is getting old, this is getting really old, but I consider it my duty to explain to the nitwits and to the simple-minded the truth behind all this. So, a Mortal Kombat star accuses Amazon's Lord of the Rings of lacking Asian actors. Ludi Lin says Amazon Studios' upcoming mega-budget fantasy series is not diverse enough. And the article continues, Chinese-Canadian actor Ludi Lin, who plays Liu Kang in the new Warner Brothers film, tweeted Thursday at Amazon Studios chief Jennifer Salk about the upcoming fantasy series. It's going to be difficult to justify building a huge world without any characters that look Asian. Turn that imagine on us. It's not hard. We're right here, and so on and so forth. So this is bullcrap and bullshit, as all the normal people know, but let me state the facts. Let me once again repeat the facts for the millionth time. Tolkien's world, or as it is called in Elvish, Arda, was based on something existing, on something from the primary world, the real world. So his secondary world, that is, the fictitious world, was based on the ancient Europe, right? The medieval Europe, circa 900 AD. And at the time, there were no African-looking people in Europe, and I doubt, seriously doubt, there were any Japanese or Chinese-looking people in Europe living at the time, or other Asian people looking at the time, if you know what I mean. And you do know what I mean. There were a lot of people living in Europe at the time, in the European regions, in the northern European regions, in western European regions, and middle European regions. And there were many colors, or many, shades of people's color, of their skin at the time, but most certainly not African people, and most certainly not Asian people, because people just didn't travel that far at the time. African people were living in Africa, Asian people were living in Asia, European people were living in Europe. America hasn't been discovered yet. So that's the facts, right? And this is what Tolkien was inspired by. This is what Tolkien based his own fictitious world upon. So it is absolutely preposterous to think that there would be any black or Asian people living in Middle-earth. Oh yes, we could see Haradrim, which could be of a darker skin. We could see other races like orcs, goblins, and so on and so forth. We could see the Easterlings, of course, which are from the East, and which even made appearance in the films, for those of you who haven't read any of the books. But one more thing, the cast is not finished yet, isn't it? There can be, and there will be, a plethora of supporting characters. What I think this Ludi Lin means is that we should have a protagonist of Asian origin, a protagonist playing an elf, or an Asian person playing an elf, or an Asian person playing a Numenorian, which is preposterous and absolutely bullshitty idea, because I consider it pretty much the same as if any of the films by Akira Kurosawa, the samurai films mainly, were remade with all-white cast. Or if we were to make a new film about Wakanda, right, the fictitious country in Africa, populated exclusively by black people. So if we were to make another film from Wakanda with exclusively white cast, alright, you do agree with me that this would be kind of nonsensical, and then there would be a lot of people of color that would be shouting into the world how absolutely outrageous it is, and how insulting it is, and how racist it is to race swap characters like this, and that we are suppressing their cultural identity and yada yada yada. Well, I could say the same here. Of course, look at the screen. Do you think that the cast of the upcoming Lord of the Rings by Amazon is not diverse enough? There are more people of color or other ethnic origins than originally European people, than the originally European people. So, as it is, the Lord of the Rings by Amazon is going to be absolutely fucking inaccurate to Tolkien and to, the original material and to ancient Europe and to Middle Earth. So all the people who are saying the same thing as Ludi Lin says, you are wrong and you absolutely don't understand anything. You don't understand art, you don't understand Tolkien, you don't understand The Lord of the Rings, and you most certainly don't understand history. And you don't want to accept facts. And I don't even think you really care that much. I think you just want to be in the center of attention because it is very fashionable. It is very in to say that somebody is ist and that you feel insulted for this or that reason. And it is quite honestly getting tired. Everybody feels insulted by something. Everybody needs to be represented in everything. What if I said that I, as a white heterosexual man from Europe, blonde-haired and blue-eyed, wanted to be represented in the next film about Black Panther, and that I want to be a native-born Wakandian? That would be absolutely bullshit. So there you go. You don't like the facts? Well, then you can go fuck yourself. Hello, goodbye. Fortunately. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, or dislike this video if you didn't like it. And that'll be all. Namarie.